Two shootings in Middle Region. Minister of Bromby Christopher Waver says his ministry is still in discussions with the NRPB regarding the landfill. But first up, according to the CFT, steady progress is required in various areas. Those are the headlines for Thursday, February the 20th, 2020. This is SXM Daily News. I'm Valerie Van Putten. Now for the details. Chairman of the Board of the Financial Supervision, the CFT, Professor Raymond Gradus, has urged the interim government to take progress in several areas. The 2020 budget has to be adopted as speedily as possible. In addition, according to Professor Gradus, measures must be taken to control costs and improve tax collection.
The fourth quarterly report for 2019 should have been submitted to the CFT by February the 15th. We have understood that this report will be available this week. Based on the monthly reports of November, we expect that St. Martin will have a deficit of about 45 million guilders in 2019. The tax income estimated at around 350 million guilders rose sooner than expected to almost the same level as before the 2017 hurricanes. For comparison, in 2016 the total tax income was around 365 million guilders. We see a strong recovery of the economy of St. Martin with an economic growth of 5.5% in 2019, also due to the resilience of the people of St. Martin. The need of liquidity support for 2019 and the conditions therefore have recently been discussed by the Kingdom Council of Ministers. The CFT has advised on the liquidity norm of 2 months reserve and is awaiting the decision made by the Kingdom Council on this matter.
The CFT has also received the revised draft budget for 2020 on January the 22nd, and as it displays a budget deficit of 25 million Antillean guilders and a capital investment of about 62 million Antillean guilders, they have advised the Council of Ministers of St. Martin not to allow for any more delays.
Recently, St. Martin submitted a revised version of the draft budget 2020 to the CFT. The original draft was reviewed in October 2019. And we have relayed our conclusions with respect to this during our previous visit to St. Martin. In the revised draft budget, both income and expenses have been decreased by about 4 million guilders. The revised draft budget shows an estimated income of 461 million guilders, expenses of 486 million guilders, and therefore a deficit of 25 million guilders. The CFT has advised on this revised draft budget on February 5th. Given that the draft budget still presents a deficit, St. Martin will need the approval of the Kingdom Council of Ministers based on Article 25 set in the RFT to deviate in particular the balanced budget norm set in Article 15 of the RFT. Importantly, we have urged the government to take the necessary steps in ensuring an efficient and effective process for getting the 2020 budget adopted. In the budget, also a loan of 31 million guilders for capital investment has been included. Importantly, If the budget is approved, Sint Maarten can eventually borrow against a low interest rate with the Netherlands. So also from this point of view, we urge the government to speed up this process. It's crucial that the government explores all available options for income increasing and cost saving measures in order to achieve surpluses from 2021 onwards.
And in other news, Minister of Finance Ardwell Irion fielding questions from reporters regarding tax holidays for local businesses. The minister told reporters that everyone can request tax breaks.
Into tax breaks, every business can apply for a tax holiday. I would encourage any business that believes that they could or should qualify for a tax holiday to follow the procedures and go through. If you look at the history of tax breaks, even when I was a member of parliament, they weren't as much as we made it seem in the public. They are, I believe, less than 10 in the last 10 years, as far as I remember, and pertaining to how many companies have gotten tax breaks. For small business support, I know that within my ministry, we have started discussions with the NRPB to, again, push for the support through the trust fund to support small businesses, and we'll be also working with the Ministry of TIAT in collaboration with them to continue exploring these options to give in small business incentives. So I look forward to that conversation with the NRPB, the trust fund. It has started, but I haven't been involved as yet to get an update on how far we have come. But I know there was a plan to incentivize the banks to, through them, give lesser interest rates for small business loans.
He also spoke of the alternative proposal of the lowering of salaries of MPs that was being worked on before his trip to the Netherlands.
Holland, an alternative proposal was made to the Kingdom Council of Ministers regarding the lowering of salaries to MPs. Can you give us details on this proposal and what have MPs agreed to? If not, when do you expect to discuss and come to an agreement with MPs on this alternative?
Thank you for your question. Details of proposal are still being discussed. A few proposals were given to our counterparts in the Netherlands, and they were all positive for these proposals. I have started discussions with MPs. Actually, I started this discussion before I even went to the Netherlands with certain MPs. When I came back, I did have a couple other meetings with a few MPs, and I will continue having discussions with the different factions. And then you'll be updated as soon as possible.
And still to come, Director of the St. Martin Housing and Development Foundation, Mrs. Helen Brown Solomon, responds to questions from former Member of Parliament Anna Richardson. We'll have the details to that story and more when SXM Daily News returns.
The race to the crown continues! Carnival Friday! Fantastic Friday! The Playway International Soca Monarch 2020! The Crown Grand Finals! Fantastic Friday! The best in power and groovy soca do battle against reigning power and groovy monarchs.
I am a George, the Water Lord, the commander of the Savannah. Hey yo, this is Swappy. Big up to all my sisters and brethren.
For their chance at the crown! In the groovy category, Aston Isaac, Blacks, College Boy Jesse, Ding Dong, Isaiah, Kerry John, Lead Pipe, Pretty, Razor, Rome, Skinny Banton, and the reigning groovy monarch Swappy. Fantastic Friday! Playway International Soca Monarch Finals. Brought to you by NLTV, Playway, Ministry of Community Development, Culture and the Arts, National Lotteries Control Board, Namalco Group of Companies, Advanced Dynamics Limited, CCN TV6, California Stucco, D. Guerra and Company Limited, Racetrack Wheels, Advanced Scaffolding, Ricky Ragunan and Group of Companies. The race to the crown continues. Carnival Friday. Fantastic Friday.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Mega Wadi is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Tell me what it is about the carnival that got us traveling all over the world, searching for that one special feeling. Tell me now. So tell me what it is about the carnival that have the people getting on like animals. I see the people jumping and waving, people from around the world anticipating we. Carnival is the place for you and me, and everybody jumping up in unity.
Mrs. Helen Brown Solomon, General Director of the St. Martin Housing and Development Foundation, responds to a question posed by then MP Anna Richardson during an earlier meeting that was held at the Parliament building regarding third-party financing that was requested by the Housing Foundation for refurbishing and building new homes.
The first question that was posed by Ms. Anna Richardson was considering that third-party financing has been requested. The last assessment, how much money is the SMRDF getting? Where does that place the SMRDF? We wish to thank Honorable Member Anna Richardson, who's not a member here in this room today, for her opening question. However, such a question cannot be answered by way of this medium due to the confidentiality clause between the SMRDF and the third-party financial institution. The financial scope in terms and conditions are not privy to the public domain. Financing through this source will allow the SMRDF to completely refurbish all the duplex homes. Was a presentation done to the Council of Ministers? During our last meeting with the Council of Ministers in December 2019, the SMRDF was allotted 1 hour to present its case to the Council of Ministers. However, our presentations were previously presented to the Council of Ministers, formators, World Bank representative, members of Interior Relations, including the Minister of Foreign Relations of the Netherlands, Mr. Knops, interested ministers, and the community at large. Ms. Richardson also requested to clarify what is meant with political interference. Political interference is when the SMRDF is requested and/or demanded by elected officials to deviate from the rules as established in our performance agreement. What do the dates look like in terms of repairs, considering that SMRDF is aware of the current technical constraints? In line with established procedures, rules, and regulation, our lending institution will allow us to refinance our current financial portfolio, and we will see the realization of the repairs to be executed within starting the third or the worst case scenario in the second or third quarter of this year, if not earlier.
She also responded to a question posed by Member of Parliament Christopher Emmanuel about the status of the director.
MP Emmanuel, his question would like to know the status of the director. What is the current status of the director now? The SMRDF is a private enterprise and legally cannot divulge information related to individual labor-related matters. Question 6. How much money has the SMRDF received? How much money has been received from entities such as the World Bank, Red Cross, government, etc.? The SMRDF has received approximately $494,000 from insurance monies. which was spent mainly to emergency roof repairs. The SMRDF has not received monies from the World Bank, Red Cross, and our government. As you stated previously, because of issues with one of our 5 supervisory board members, you choose not to assist the SMRDF, who is representing 773 rental units and has a waiting list in excess of 7,000 persons. On the supervisory board of government has 2 representatives. Also, you demanded that one of the 2 members be appointed as a technical director. The board complied with your request, including Mr. Brown, our present chairman. Mr. Emmanuel further requested how much money was received from the insurance and how much was the claim. The SMRDF received approximately $494,000 from the insurance. The total claim was $5 million. However, due to the fact that we were underinsured and we had owner's risk part, that those monies were deducted, but will further be elaborated on by our accountant. What is the current balance of the SMRDF loan? Your question regretfully cannot be answered in this medium due to the confidentiality clause between the SMRDF and the third-party commercial lending institution. The financial scope, its terms and conditions are not provided to the public domain. How much damage was done to the SMRDF office building and how much money did it spend to repair? From the $994,000 we received, $102,000 was to repair the office building, of which $60,790 was spent to repair the roof of the office only, as the bank has placed the balance in an escrow account to aid our mortgage delinquency. The towers were in a state of repair before the hurricane. Why has SMRDF not repaired them? Why can SMRDF not repair the Red Cross? Not even the fence can be repaired. Simple things as painting. The foundation is being negligent long before Irma. In order to answer this question constructively, please bear with us. We must elaborate on the structure of the organization, the financial constraints, and most importantly, on the fragments within the foundation on which the foundation has developed. The performance agreement that was signed on September 18, 1997, laid out the minimum structure needed to facilitate its operations, provisions for major repairs, and continuity of the foundation. The performance agreement included cost analysis, break-even margins, home repair expenses, provisions for major repairs and new projects to sustain growth of the organization, the increasing demand for housing, and to compensate for price indexation. To accomplish these targets, a minimum of 968 homes were to be built and handed over to the SMRDF to appease the then, already in 1997, the housing demand. As of 1999, 674 homes were handed over to the St. Martin Housing Development Foundation from government and takes into contribution 24 of the 48 senior homes were given. In accordance with its financial projection of the performance agreement, 203 lots were also to be handed over to the St. Martin Housing Development Foundation to aid with the construction of homes for the middle income sector. Also 96 homes from the Hope Estate project had to be handed over by the St. Martin Housing Development Foundation, and of the 24 senior homes, 48, and also 150 units were to be constructed in different clusters and in different parts of the island as part of what you call the public-private partnerships. These projects in its totality were not concluded within the framework as is established in the performance agreement.
And in news from the police report, law enforcement officials are currently investigating 2 separate shooting incidents. The incident, one of which resulted in the fatal shooting of a young man, took place in Middle Region early Thursday morning, while another man is being medically cared for at the St. Martin Medical Center. The release issued by the interim police spokesman, Inspector Josefa, states that the St. Martin Police Force had a busy start to the morning with 2 separate shootings that took place on Thursday, February the 20th, coincidentally in the same vicinity, resulting in the second murder of the year being recorded. In the first shooting, the Central Dispatch directed the police patrols to the Middle Region area at approximately 1:50 a.m. to investigate a robbery that had taken place whereby several shots were fired. The victim, who sustained several gunshot wounds to his upper arm, was transported to the St. Martin Medical Center by private vehicle prior to the police arrival at the scene. According to the press communique, on the scene, officers were informed that during a robbery, the suspects fired several shots before fleeing the scene with the victim's possessions. The victim, who sustained a gunshot wound to his upper arm, was transported to the St. Martin Medical Center by private vehicle prior to the police arrival at the scene. The detectives then visited the hospital to obtain a statement from the victim with the initials JLD, who is currently in stable condition. In his statement to the detectives, the victim explained that he was robbed of his motorbike and some jewelry by 2 male suspects carrying a firearm. This investigation is still ongoing. Meanwhile, according to the interim police spokesman, the personnel of the detective department are also investigating a shooting that took place in the Middle Region area 30 minutes after the first shooting had taken place. The police patrol and ambulance department were sent to Elders Drive at approximately 2:30 a.m., where they encountered a male in a vehicle. He was not showing any signs of life. After conducting a brief investigation on the scene, it was concluded that the victim has sustained several gunshot wounds to his body. The detectives are currently gathering more information in an effort to ascertain as to what transpired. The identity of the victim is currently being withheld until all families of the victims have been properly notified, according to the police. Now turning to our weather forecast. Although Saharan dust affecting the Eastern Caribbean will restrict significant shower activity, pockets of moisture moving into the region may cause brief showers from time to time. Marine conditions will continue to peak near 9 feet before subsiding overnight. Small craft operators and sea bathers are advised to continue exercising caution. Now, let's turn to your 3-day forecast. And still to come, Minister of Romy still in discussions with the NRPB. We'll have the details to that story and more when SXM Daily News returns.
Make use of WIB mobile banking with easy access and direct usage of face recognition, PIN code, or fingerprint. Download WIB mobile banking app and make your transaction from anywhere at any time. For more information, visit wib-bank.net/quick-login.
And in more news at this time, Minister of Housing, Environment and Spatial Planning, Christopher Waver, told reporters that the ministry is still in discussion with the NRPB regarding the 2 separate projects, which includes the dump and the resettling of persons living on the dump.
There's something in the talks with, still in discussion with the NRPB, which is, of course, the middle organization between government and the World Bank. As to see the way forward, there's still an official, contract to be signed together as to what the agreements will be. I can say that so far, no one has been resettled as yet. This is something in collaboration as well, I believe, with the Ministry of VSA to identify these key persons and to see the way forward. So this is all just still in discussion phase, but what was part of the agreement is that now it's not linked to the works being carried out at the landfill. So now it's just two separate projects, so to say, and but they have to end simultaneously, so they can start at the same time, and not that one has to wait for the other.
And still to come, Friends St. Martin to host their grand parade this weekend. We'll have the details to that story and more when SXM Daily News returns.
The race to the crown continues! Carnival Friday! Fantastic Friday! The Playway International Soca Monarch 2020! The Crown Grand Finals! Fantastic Friday! The best in power and groovy soca do battle against reigning power and groovy monarchs.
I am a George, the Water Lord, the commander of the Savannah. Hey yo, this is Swappy. Big up to all my sisters and brethren.
For their chance at the crown! In the groovy category, Aston Isaac, Blacks, College Boy Jesse, Ding Dong, Isaiah, Carrie John, Lead Pipe, Pretty, Razor, Rome, Skinny Banton, and the reigning groovy monarch, Swappy. Fantastic Friday! Playway International Soca Monarch Finals. Brought to you by NLTV, Playway, Ministry of Community Development, Culture and the Arts, National Lotteries Control Board, Namalco Group of Companies, Advanced Dynamics Limited, CCN TV6, California Stucco, D. Guerra Company Limited, Racetrack Wheels, Advanced Scaffolding, Ricky Ragunan and Group of Companies. The race to the crown continues. Carnival Friday. Fantastic Friday!
Luciana Raspai, president of the Friendside Carnival Committee, the FCDSM, tells St. Martin Daily News in an exclusive interview about the Grand Carnival Parade, which is to be held this Sunday, February the 23rd, 2020.
Then on Sunday is the Grand Parade, and this year we have a special edition for you, what we will call in French a midi minuit. So this means that party starts from 12 noon and ends at 12 midnight. So parade starts at 12 noon at the Agrima roundabout, regular route, of course. Where you want to be for the parade is on Rue de la République, as we will be having the choreography competition, and that is one of the highlights of our parade on the front side. So you will definitely want to come out early in order to have front row standing, not seat but standing, of course, in order to see the group, the troops perform their choreography. And then parade will go up until 6 p.m. and then it will be ending on the waterfront right here, where we will be opening officially the village, a carnival village, for the 4 upcoming days. So then after, once the troupe reaches on the waterfront, they will be performing their choreography again. So those of you who missed it on Rue de la République or throughout the parade as well, you will be able to view the choreography on the waterfront. And then after, we go straight into what we will call the Grand Parade Fête, as we will be having this year on the waterfront performing live for you guys is Grandmasters Band, the Infusion Band from Anguilla, and of course out of Sunshine City, the Big Bad XP Band, who will be performing as well with DJ Siwo. So of course, like I mentioned, it's a midi minuit. We're fetting from 12 noon to 12 midnight. So of course, only the real can keep up. And if you want to keep up, so this means you have to come to Get Fit to Fet on Friday.
I'm Valerie Van Putten. Just a reminder that this and other programs are available online. Simply log on to stmartinmediacenter.com for viewing. And on behalf of the SXM Daily News team, we thank you for watching and plan on meeting you back here again tomorrow.